Welcome to your generic live show. Thanks for joining us here on the generic live show for a Sunday. Yeah, you know, unmuting a microphone could also lower your risk of not being heard. Thanks for joining us here on the generic live show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. It's a pleasure as per always. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to be here as always. I'm a little worried that we might have dropped again. But anyway, thanks for joining us. It's good to be here. Actually convenient if that's the case. But anyway, trying things out. YouTube is messing up tonight. They're only doing audio, so apologies for that if you're over on the youtube.com/generic live show. Only audio tonight because we are on Twitch, twitch.tv/thechefwonder, THECHEFWONDR. We're trying this Twitch thing, streaming deal combo hour out, and it's going well so far. We've dropped once, but I think that was a network thing. I think the whole entire shindig just decided to cave in, and why not? And that's fine because it happens. It happens when we're on YouTube, so I don't know why. I don't know why that's surprising. That's not a Twitch thing. That is a network thing, and that is something that I need to talk about off the air. But we're back. We're good to be back. It's good to be back, and it's good to. I feel a lot lighter this week, and I'll tell you why. We will get to what we need to talk about here in just a little bit, and the like. I mean, we've got a full hour of programming to get through, so you know why not? It's good. Life's good. I was talking about this because I did a Saturday night stream last night, because it's Sunday, and when we're recording this live in front of a live studio audience, and I did a stream, and I was talking about on the stream there where sorry, it's live talk for a moment here because I did my final ever final here last Monday, actually. In fact, last Monday I did my final ever final, and I don't think I did all that well, and it's kind of bothering me, but I know that I can't really do anything about it now because it's done, and you can't really do anything once it's done. You just got to ride it out and see how you actually do. And I don't know. Like I said, it's my final ever final, and I want to do well. So it's not like I intentionally bombed for it for me to actually take the class again. I legitimately tried, and I don't think I did all that well. But I'll find out on the 4th of July. Funny that. 4th of July, I'll find out my result, and 4th of July is the American Independence Day, I think. Is that what the 4th of July is? Email me, genericliveshow@gmail.com. There, got the obligatory plug for the email out for the day. Let's get moving, up and moving here on a Sunday with Dale Campbell. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure as per always. Last hour, we broke down the UK election results. We're going to do that again. British Prime Minister Theresa May called a general election in April, 3 years before it was required by UK electoral law, saying that she wanted to have an increased majority to strengthen her hand in Brexit talks. It appears that political gamble failed. The exit poll conducted for the main UK broadcasters is predicting that her Conservative Party has lost primarily majority in such a major upset. Wow. The Conservative Party earned 42.5% of the vote. The Labour Party got 40% of the vote. The Liberal Democrats got 7.4%. SNP, the Scottish National Party, got 3% of the vote, and other political parties got 7.1%, which I'm led to believe is the highest amount in kind of political sort of history, which is really, that's again, I think that's a good thing that more independent parties got more votes and kind of are gaining ground, and that's kind of transitions us into kind of breaking down what exactly happened here. And I think what happened here was that I think one, the Labour Party that got second, quote unquote, second place here, kind of saw that that they where was I going with that? They kind of saw that they are popular again, and they kind of have that momentum and kind of have that swell and that precision to kind of live on and kind of be this party that lives on, because this election was a telling sign for them internally as to see whether they could actually survive as a party and as a force that is to be winning elections and all the rest of it. No, they didn't win this election, but they certainly took enough seats off the UK Conservative Party that it certainly was enough to take it away, if that makes sense. Like, to kind of balance it out and to stop the Conservatives and Theresa May from gaining that majority, which that to me was kind of the primary objective of their whole game plan, was to take away from the Conservative parties and not actually win the election. In my personal opinion, anyway. That is Dale's personal opinion. Anyway, the winners and losers: the Labour Party earned 32 seats, the Liberal Democrats earned 3 points, the SF, whatever the SF is, earned 3 seats, 3 points. I say 3 points. The DUP earned 2 points, the PC, the Personal Computer, earned 1 point, the UUP lost 2 seats, the SDLP lost 3 points, the Conservative Party lost 13 seats, and the SNP lost 19 seats. The Scottish National Party, what is that orange one? The DUP, the Northern Ireland Party? I don't know what that's meant to mean. Fascinating stuff. But anyway, so meanwhile, oh gosh, oh no, I feel like we're heading down this path again. But anyway, so we'll move on. God, now we got window. Now we got, oh god, what is, guys? Come on, what is happening? Here we go. Focus, Dale. Focus. All right. So, what does this result mean? So, to fully understand the significance of these results, will be stunning. And why they're so stunning, you'll need to know a little bit about how the British system works. Like I said last hour, if you're familiar at all with how the Australian system works at all, it's kind of similar. Less in this sense, then you kind of have to make a deal to earn the majority overall, and to kind of and also in the British system, you kind of have to get the support of the Queen as well. You kind of have to earn the Queen's vote as well, not the Queen's vote. You have to get the Queen's sort of permission, so to speak, to kind of continue running the country. Like I said last hour, 99 times out of 100 she'll say yes, because it's a disruption to power if she doesn't. That part just occurred to me. It's kind of a disruption to power if she says no, you can't. And that's just how it works. And one thing that, like I said before, the main sort of reason why this is significant is that the Conservative gamble kind of backfired. That is the big sort of deal here. The deep irony of these results, so to speak, is that, oh gosh, Twitch stream is down. Really? I was on a roll. Here. Could they not? Okay. So the reason why it's so thing is because Theresa May wanted a full hand going into Brexit talks, and they at the time had a 17-seat majority, so they were over the majority threshold by 17 seats, which I'm led to believe is where is that result? 326 is that result. So there you go. There's that. So she wanted an upper hand in that regard. So she kind of wanted to see where she could take the talks, but with a hung parliament, and we know this all too well here in Australia, is you can't really do anything with a hung parliament. It's kind of pointless to do any. You can't pass any laws when it comes to. You actually can't pass any laws when it comes to passing laws. You can't actually get them through Parliament. That's what I'm trying to say. Wow, too many things. Words difficult, hard. Smile. Yeah, I'm done. Okay, so I'm not having a stroke on air. No, that's not happening. I can do all that sort of stuff. You'd know if I was having a stroke on air. So the Brexit talk is where it's at, and it's the harsh anti-immigration position is kind of where it hit hardest, so to speak. And it did hit hard there, and so it should actually. And calling for no more than 100,000 to be admitted to Britain per year. For this to happen, they need to end the free flow of people between the European Union and Britain, currently mandated by EU law. 3 million EU citizens currently live in the UK. 250 EU citizens moved to the UK last year alone. The problem, though, is that the EU is likely to agree to this and continue to allow the UK access to the EU's common market, which grants EU countries privileged trade status with each other. The UK depends on trade with the EU. About 44% of its exports go to the rest of Europe. Getting starkly cut off from the common market could, as a result, tank the UK economy and damage the EU as well. In that scenario, it's called a hard Brexit. Hard Brexit. Whatever a hard Brexit may be. whatever that may include. And the pre-election May appeared very comfortable with it, judging her campaign rhetoric. No deal for Britain is better than a bad deal for Britain. Wait, hang on. What? I might actually be having a stroke on air. Oh, call the ambulance. What? A bad deal? Oh, no deal for Britain is better than a bad deal for Britain. Yeah, that makes sense. I was reading it the other way around. A bad deal for Britain is better than no deal for Britain at all. Wow, that is hard. Theresa May said she wanted a strong majority for Brexit. Britain takes it from the EU. She doesn't get that, German Foreign Minister Sigmar Gabriel said. Yeah, Britain, spot a bother at the moment. We'll see how the rest of 2017 pans out, but I think 2017 for Britain was heading towards the 2016 kind of territory, if that makes sense. I think it's creeping up there. I mean, last year we had the rise of Trump and the revolution of Trump, and this time we've got the Labour Party coming back in full force, and and it's an uprising. Yeah, they didn't win, but they certainly did what they had to do to achieve the political goal that they set out to achieve. Definitely similar, but it's interesting as well that for the Labour Party to turn around and now have this challenge and now to have a voice in there to try and stop this from happening. Brexit will still happen, but under what circumstances? What circumstances will it happen under can now be negotiated with more of a Labour power and more of a Labour movement in the Parliament. And this is not my political standings here. That would have happened on the Conservative side. If Labour was suggesting a Brexit style event, the Conservatives would come on in and go, I'm not too sure about that. Can we refine a few things and da-da-da? But see, if someone had a majority, that would turn the whole argument upside down for sure. So, poor Britain not getting a fair go here lately. Yeah, with all the terror stuff happening as well, it's definitely a tough time for good old Britain, isn't it? It's a real shame, really, of what's been happening over there. But we'll continue to monitor Britain and how they're going with life, and I shouldn't say how they're going with life. That makes it sound pretty bad. How they're going with life. We'll check in from time to time. We'll be here, and if Britain needs anything, like a warm glass of milk or something, though, then we'll be here to comfort it. We will tuck Britain in at night if it needs to come to that, but it won't have to come to that. But it's certainly, if we're going to looking back on 2017, it's certainly going to be Britain as opposed to America this year, I think. Talk too soon, Dale. Jinx. Anyway, as we continue here on the Jake Live Show for a Sunday, it's Dale Campbell here with you. Kmart, the big shoebox company Kmart, is about to get a little bit cheaper down under. We'll tell you more as we continue here on the Jake Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io. It's 10:21.
Hey you! Yes you, fine listener of this program. You can help us become more than what we already are. I know, it's a revolution. Hold on to your butts, because I'm about to give you a URL address that could change our lives. Not really, but it would help us out tremendously if you went over to geek-io.net/support, so we can do a lot more than what we're actually doing now. That website actually has a lot of links on it where you can help us out monthly through Patreon at our Patreon site at patreon.com/geek.io, or you can help us out once off by supporting those who support us. But then you can become the ones who support us, who support you, who support us. It's supportception. To continue this supportception, it's in your hands. Go to geek-io.net/support.
This podcast is proudly sponsored by Amazon. Amazon has all of your needs
cycle
all
of
occasions.
support up.
Amazon stocks a large range of pretty much everything. Everything from automotive to baby to computers, payment cards, groceries, health and personal care, and everything for Amazon Kindles, ebooks, movies and television, magazines, office products, and stuff for your patio, lawn, and garden. Hey, they even sell sports goods. If you're into sports ball. Yeah, if you're ready to check out the range at Amazon.com, use geek-io.net/Amazon to help out the Geek.io podcast network. We get a little bit of a kickback through our affiliate link there. That's geek-io.net/Amazon. Amazon. Everything for every occasion. Everything for every occasion may not be the official slogan for Amazon. Some products not available in all areas. Hold on tight. This is the Generic Live Show.
Joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday... Oh, my microphone was not connected then. As we continue. Hi, we're back from a commercial break. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you as per always. It's a pleasure to be here. It's great to be here, actually, here on a Sunday. It is great to be here. Alright, Kmart! You know the Kmart? Well, Current Affair has the story. Of course they do. And it's going to play a commercial because of course it is. Oh boy.
Stream it live.
I thought I couldn't get away with it all. So Kmart shoppers are set to save hundreds of dollars each year with clothing items slashed after the retail giant announced it will start manufacturing in Java, Indonesia. This audio.
Central Java. Make no mistake, these aren't military compounds. The most profitable department store in Australia has arrived. And they're very happy to see them. These are the factories making your clothes.
It seems like fun, actually. I'm not gonna. It's a terrible thing, and mass production and the like, and it's definitely got some problems, but they're having a blast. They're having a blast! Like, what in the world? Like, it's... Oh my gosh. I was seriously expecting something to be, like, all dour and, like, wouldn't you wish it's a compound? It's like that, so there you go. What? Oh boy, alright, so there is that. I was not expecting that at all. There you go. Wow, Nine's Current Affair reports that some clothing will be reduced by more than 20% as designers claim that they can order on such a scale that their goods are cheaper and of better quality. Quote. Customers, I don't know why I said quote like that. Customers' expectations are rising at an incredible rate, unquote. Kmart Managing Director Ian Bailey told Current Affair, quote, we sell over 800 million things a year. That was me eye-rolling for audio listeners. You don't have to make a lot of money on each thing for it to be a profitable business, Mr. Bailey said. Right. Okay. Kmart promised it will not produce cheap and nasty clothing items as it increases sales by keeping prices low. Mr. Bailey said a lot of Australians are doing it tough, and a few dollars saved on clothing might make a huge difference. All of us are looking for factories that do the right thing and are pumping waste into rivers is no good to anyone in the long run. Not good to us, not good to the community, Mr. Bailey said. That's better than things. Just putting that out there. The beginning of Kmart operations in Java makes a shift of manufacturing's behemoth China. But however, Mr. Bailey said the move away from China is due to rising wages. Did not mean slave labor conditions at the company's factory in Java. Well, I was about to say, what am I there to read here? There is a minimum wage which is set by the area, and all of these people are governed by, and many are paid more than that because they do a little bit of overtime at their base hours of 40 hours a week, Monday to Friday, he says. Items to be reduced include board games, exercise mats, kitchenware, and clothing. The first 320 reduced price will hit shelves this week. The hundreds more to come throughout the year. Down. Indonesia is in the mainstream again. Look at you, Indonesia. Look at you. Hey, well, Dale, careful. I was about to say, Chappelle Corby came home, so they decided to pump things out of Indonesia. So there you go. Wow, I said it. Okay, moving along quite quickly. Oh boy. Please don't murder me. I mean, I'm joking. I'm being fully facetious here, and people who aren't Australian aren't going to get that reference. And for people who are Australian, you are rolling on the floor, laughing or saying, "Wow, Dale, you are a terrible human being." To which I will say, yes, I do, and yes, I am. But there you go. Wow. But I reckon clothing. You know, you watch these live streams, and I cycle through about 4 shirts, and it is what it is, and you know, you can't really do much. You know, clothing. I like shopping, but I don't like doing it on my own. It's a bit weird. If I do it on my own, it's a little bizarro town. But there you go. As we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday, it's Dale Campbell here with you. I don't know why I'm looking down there. As we continue here on the Generic Live Show, it's the moment that you've been waiting for. It is Comey time. It's the moment I've been waiting for, actually, for 2 weeks. It's Comey time. We are having a Comey listening party right in the middle of the Generic Live Show because I say so. There you go. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. It's 10:30.
Hey you! Yes, you, fine listener of this program. You can help us become more than what we already are. I know, it's a revolution. Hold on to your butts because I'm about to give you a URL address that could change our lives. Not really, but it would help us out tremendously if you went over to geek-io.net/support so we could do a lot more than what we're actually doing now. That website actually has a lot of links on it where you can help us out monthly through Patreon at our Patreon site at patreon.com/geekio, or you can help us out once off by supporting those who support us. But then you can become the ones who support us, who support you, who support us. It's Supportception. To continue this Supportception, it's in your hands. Go to geek-io.net/support.
This Geek IO podcast network is proudly sponsored by
ever-long
ThinkGeek.
cycle of support.
ThinkGeek is the biggest online retailer of all things geeky. That's right, everything geeky. And they stock the biggest brands in geekiness like Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Minecraft, Legend of Zelda, Marvel, Game of Thrones, DC Comic, and Geek Labs. And they sell a whole bunch of things like collectibles, electronics and gadgets, t-shirts and apparel, gifts. They sell it all over at ThinkGeek. And they have free shipping on orders over $75 or a flat $6.95 US standard shipping to all places in the US. So when you're ready to check out the range over at ThinkGeek, the online geek superstore, just use our link to go over to ThinkGeek over at geek-io.net/ThinkGeek. That gives us a little bit of a kickback on what you buy. Don't worry, we're not stealing your shoe size or asking you for a blood sample. It's okay. We're only getting a kickback from what you buy. We don't actually see what you buy from ThinkGeek. Join in, geek out, ThinkGeek. We thank ThinkGeek for their support of the Geek IO podcast
Hello, dear
network.
listener. Here at Geek IO, we're always happy to give some support to the little person. So today I'd like to let you know about a small internet startup called Amazon.com. Go to geek-io.net/Amazon to check out their large catalogues of books and magazines. I believe they may have some other items for sale too, records and videotapes perhaps. Using geek-io.net/Amazon lets them know you discovered them through us, and I'll throw a few pennies our way. Thank you.
We're here to give you a big dose of genericness. This is the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io. Thanks for joining us. We're here on a Sunday. Thanks for joining us, whether you're listening to us live or on your hard drive. It's a pleasure to be here. We are broadcasting live over at Twitch. Twitch.tv/TheChefWonder, TheChefWonder, and on YouTube at youtube.com/Generic Live Show. But YouTube is messing up, and now they're doing audio because who knows? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I went there. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment that you've been waiting for a long time. It is time for a Comey party! Yes! Oh, yes. I don't know, I can't really use that sound effect.
I wouldn't make it a habit calling me that, son.
Yeah, see, there you go. I can use that sound effect. Alright, thanks, Comey. We're having a Comey party right in the middle of this episode, because why not? Because if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the testimony that James Comey did, fired FBI Director James Comey did in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee. It's his first public comments since his May 9th ousting, pretty much. I agree with CBS News. It's an ousting that he, quote, takes the president at his word, unquote, that he fired because the FBI investigation into Russia election meddling. We have, well, hopefully the audio is here. Comey declines to discuss whether Trump colluded with Russia in an open setting. Comey declines to discuss whether the President Trump colluded with Russia during the 2016 election in an open setting. There is a question that I don't think I should answer in an open setting, Comey said. Comey did tell Mr. Trump that he was not subject of any investigation, him personally. So that line from Comey gathered intimate attention on social media. The Senate Intelligence Committee will have a closed session followed. The closed session followed the open session, which Comey is expected to discuss more sensitive and classified information with the committee members. We're getting to this audio because it's exciting. Here are James Comey's opening remarks. If they load, please tell me they load. Here is James Comey at the beginning of his testimony.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
Oh, let's not suppose that, shall we? Here is James Comey.
I've submitted my statement for the record, and I'm not going to repeat it here this morning. I thought I would just offer some very brief introductory remarks, and then I would welcome your questions. When I was appointed FBI Director in 2013, I understood that I served at the pleasure of the President. Even though I was appointed to a 10-year term, which Congress created in order to underscore the importance of the FBI being outside of politics and independent, I understood that I could be fired by a president for any reason or for no reason at all. And on May the 9th, when I learned that I had been fired, for that reason, I immediately came home as a private citizen. But then the explanations, the shifting explanations, confused me and increasingly concerned me. They confused me because the president and I had had multiple conversations about my job, both before and after he took office. And he had repeatedly told me I was doing a great job and he hoped I would stay. And I had repeatedly assured him that I did intend to stay and serve out the remaining 6 years of my term. He told me repeatedly that he had talked to lots of people about me, including our current Attorney General, and had learned that I was doing a great job and that I was extremely well liked by the FBI workforce. So it confused me when I saw on television the president saying that he actually fired me because of the Russia investigation, and learned again from the media that he was telling privately other parties that my firing had relieved great pressure on the Russia investigation.
That is former director of the FBI, James Comey. We're having a Comey party. It's a Comey party all up in here. The clips continue. This one actually has my attention. This one is called the I was honestly concerned with the might lie, or that he might lie about the nature of our... Okay, first of all, no. This clip is called I was honestly concerned that he might lie about the nature of our meeting.
My understanding is you remained afterwards to brief him on, again, quote, some personally sensitive aspects of the information you relayed. Now, you said after that briefing, you felt compelled to document that conversation that you actually...
Excuse me, sorry, butting in here. My podcast. I don't know who is talking. Sorry.
You started documenting it as soon as you got into the car. Now, you've had extensive experience at the Department of Justice and at the FBI. You've worked under presidents of both parties. What was it about that meeting that led you to determine that you needed to start putting down a written record?
A combination of things. I think the circumstances, the subject matter, and the person I was interacting with. Circumstances first, I was alone with the President of the United States, or the President-elect, soon to be President. The subject matter, I was talking about matters that touch on the FBI's core responsibility and that relate to the President-elect person.
No! No! Don't do this. Oh no! No! We lost the audio. I really wanna get back to this audio. Where were we up to? Let's tell me we're up to about here-ish.
I think the circumstances, the subject matter, and the person I was interacting with. Circumstances first, I was alone with the President of the United States, or the President-elect, soon to be President. The subject matter, I was talking about matters that touch on the FBI's core responsibility and that relate to the President-elect personally. And then the nature of the person. I was honestly concerned that he might lie about the nature of our meeting, and so I thought it really important to document. That combination of things I'd never experienced before, but it led me to believe I got to write it down, and I got to write it down in a very detailed way.
That is former FBI Director James Comey there. We're having a Comey party. That actually has a nice ring to it, actually. Comey party. Meanwhile, there were talks about some tapes. No, we're not talking 13 Reasons Why style tapes, though.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
Don't do that. I don't think they're 13 Reasons Why style tapes, but hopefully they're not. I say that, but I'm like, maybe they are, maybe they're not. But Comey says release all the tapes. It's a Comey party on GLS.
Do you believe there were any tapes or recordings of your conversations with the president?
It never occurred to me till the president's tweet. I'm not being facetious. I hope there are, and I'll consent to the release of...
So both of you are in the same findings here. You both hope there's tapes and recordings.
Well, all I can do is hope. The president surely knows whether he taped me, and if he did, my feelings aren't hurt. Release all the tapes. I'm good with it.
Oh, release the tapes. Release the tapes. Release the tapes.
Let's do some math.
3, 2, 1. Let it up.
Oh no, where's it?
For Scorpion, we don't make mistakes.
What's Scorpion?
The smartest people in the world.
Let me show you what it's all about.
I'm in.
That was a full day.
Scorpion, CBS Mondays.
You because there's mysterious sound coming, and I don't know where it's coming from. All right. Release the tapes. Release the tapes. Is that what the tapes sound like? Please tell me that's what the tapes sound like. They sound like commercial. They sound like commercials for upcoming movies. That's very A, oddly specific, and B, Very, very... yeah, odd. Could you imagine, though, if the tapes did sound like a party? That would be weird. We are kind of in the middle of a Comey party, and the fun and festivities did continue. Of course, I don't think we have any of the like blunders or anything here to listen to. I think it's all information based. It crashed, but we are getting there. Hopefully, we'll get there sooner rather than later. Oh, jeez. All right. No one wants us to have a Comey party. What? Why would you have a Comey party? They say. All right, Comey party back on. The White House has chimed in. The White House, of all people, have chimed in and said that the president, well, the president just isn't a liar. That's what the White House is saying. The White House in this situation is the grandpa that turns up.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
To the party.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague. Your friends will see.
Where is that?
Or a post on Facebook. Or a paper for your English class that you just have to get an A on.
Okay, settle down. First of all, settle down. Second of all, I'm talking. I do the talking here. The White House says that the president is not a liar. Can we get to the clip? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, it's way too much for me. Anyway, so, yeah, like I said, the White House seems to be this kind of grandpa that kind of turns up at the end and kind of goes...
is with us now, White House correspondent for Time. Zeke, you asked the White House about these tapes, which could go directly to that point of lying, if indeed there are tapes and can clear up the conversations.
Yeah, I mean, something kind of a striking off-camera briefing we just had with Sarah Sanders not too long ago, where she said, first off, she was offended that anyone would even ask the question whether or not the president lies, and we know that the president has certainly offered many misstatements and lied during the course of his business career and political career. That's pretty well documented.
Okay. Apart from me blasting everyone's ears out just then, hang on. Hold the phone. I want to replay this clip, and you have to pay attention, because I can't pay attention anymore, because I want to get this clip right. Here we go.
During the course of his business career and political misstatements and lied during the course and has certainly offered lies.
Right, here we go.
We know that the president has certainly offered many misstatements and lied during the course of his business career and political career. That's pretty well documented. But on the
that is the White House saying that the president has. It's documented that the president has lied in the past, but not now. Not now at all. Like, that is... Not... Gosh, what is happening? The White House is saying that the president has lied... Sorry. A correspondent talking on behalf of the White House is saying that the White House says that the president... It's well documented that the president has lied in the past, but hasn't lied in this situation. Oh boy, alright, I still do this show? I still do this show? Really? Okay, alright, so that's that. I'm done with that clip. Lordy, I hope there's tapes is this next clip. There's this really obsession with tapes, isn't there? I love this obsession with tapes. We don't have any of the blunders to play, unfortunately. That would be
gear. Can't spell America's most...
You can't spell America without this sort of stuff. I really want to hope that this clip is good. This clip is called Lordy, I hope there's tapes. I really hope that this is fun.
up and say, Mr. President, this is wrong. I cannot discuss this with you?
It's a great question. Maybe if I were stronger, I would have. I was so stunned by the conversation that I just took it in. And the only thing I could think to say, because I was playing in my mind, because I was going to remember every word he said, I was playing in my mind, what should my response be? And that's why I very carefully chose the words. And look, I've seen the tweet about tapes. Lordy, I hope there are tapes. I remember saying, I agree he's a good guy, as a way of saying I'm not agreeing with what you just asked me to do. Again, maybe other people would be stronger in that circumstance, but that's how I conducted myself. I hope I'll never have another opportunity. Maybe if I did it again, I would do it better.
That is former FBI Director James Comey.
Tell me about this guy, smartest guy I've ever met in my life.
This is gonna suck!
I'm really getting a bit tired of this.
I never know. It's part of his charm.
We do have to take over.
You were saying?
MacGyver, CBS Fridays.
Do we have to? Alright, there you go. This is the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. Lordy, I hope there are tapes. There you go. As we continue here on the Generic Live Show, well, people that make coffee, what do they hate about their customers? Probably a lot. If anyone has served me in the past, probably a lot. Actually, I have a fun story about a barista in Melbourne, but that's neither here nor there or anywhere. As we continue here on the Generic Live Show, that was a pretty lame Call Me party, if you ask me. That was a pretty generic Call Me party. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io as per always. Thanks for joining us. It's 10:51.
Hey you! Yes, you, fine listener of this program. You can help us become more than what we already are. I know, it's a revolution. Hold on to your butts, because I'm about to give you a URL address that could change our lives. Not really, but it would help us out tremendously if you went over to geek-io.net/support, so we could do a lot more than what we're actually doing now. That website actually has a lot of links on it where you can help us out monthly through Patreon at our Patreon site at patreon.com/geekio, or you can help us out once off by supporting those who support us. But then you can become the ones who support us, who support you, who support us. It's Supportception. To continue this Supportception, it's in your hands. Go to geek-io.net/support to keep this ever-long cycle of support up. Thank you.
This Geek.io Podcast Network program is sponsored by Audible. They're the leaders in digital audiobooks on the internet. Choose from over 100,000 titles across all types of literature, including fiction, non-fiction, and periodicals. Try Audible.com now and get your first 30 days of Audible Listener Gold membership plan for free. That's right, free, which includes one audiobook credit per month. After your 30-day trial, your membership will renew for just $14.95 per month, so you can continue to receive your audiobook credit per month, plus members-only discounts on all audio purchases. If audiobooks aren't quite your thing, well, that's okay. Audible also have a variety of radio and TV programs and audio versions of magazines and newspapers. There's something for everyone. Check out geek-io.net/audible for all of the details. And we thank Audible for their support of the Geek.io Podcast Network.
finally found the most generic live show. This is the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. It's a pleasure, as per always, to get to do this show every single week. It's great to do this show, and it's just fun, you know. Getting to do this show, whether you're listening to us live or on your hard drive, whether you are here or not is another story. But you know, if you're not here, you're not hearing this message. So there you go. There you go. Why not? Optimism here from the Generic Live Show HQ. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Generic Live Show. Now, GLS, final segment, final thing that we have to do. Why baristas hate us? Well, what do baristas hate most about us? Serving hundreds of customers who all like their drink a very specific way cannot be an easy job. Now, a Starbucks barista has revealed the most annoying things a customer can do in a coffee shop. And many of them you might not realize that you're doing. The University of Michigan student Brian Beckwith, that's a pretty cool name, has worked at the coffee giant for over a year, but stressed that he does love his job. What? Okay. He hopes, the hope is by revealing the most irritating things that customers do, he can help spare a few baristas of grief. There you go. Don't dump your coffee in the bin. Brian says that many customers tip out some of their hot coffee in the bin, particularly when they're making room for milk. He says trash bags are already disgusting enough when changing them. Dumping liquid in them just makes them worse. He advised customers to simply ask for room in the cup if they wish to add milk. Brian said, ordering on your phone. Brian said it's not the only irreplaceable route to be glued to your phone when making an order. It makes that customers won't fully understand questions you may have asked them. By suggesting putting away your phone for a few minutes to get the exact drink you were hoping for. Another thing as well, size does indeed matter. A lot of people don't specify what size they want. Probably about a third. Wow, a third of people don't specify what size. Wow, okay. He said that even if you don't get the correct lingo for the sizes, simply asking for a large will get the point across. The worker said saying the correct size at the beginning of the order means baristas can write the drink details on the size as you want it without having to repeat all of it when the cup is clarified. Baristas aren't psychic. Brian revealed that many people come back to him and says, I wanted that ice. I didn't want whipped on it. I don't know why I didn't know why I added that voice, but anyway. He said that changes to the unusual recipe can be specifically stated at the beginning. Brian explained, we are baristas, not psychics. There you go. As you were, you psychic goers, you. Yeah, well, though, to be fair, some baristas are magicians, so there you go. But yeah, maybe they provide magical goodness every single morning to people, so they produce magic. So there is that. Wow, that's quite a loud video. Turns out, big marketing ploy, free advertising, super deluxe, picture of that. That doesn't actually say anything at all. Fantastic. Another video with pointless things. Anyway, so I do now have time to say my Melbourne coffee story quick. So I was at Flinders Street. No, was that Flinders Street Station? Melbourne Central. I was at Melbourne Central Station No, I was at Flinders Street Station. I was at Flinders Street Station, and there's a Gloria Jeans kind of booth there, and it's kind of hard to explain where the booth is. But anyway, there's a Gloria Jeans there, and there was a rush, and I was right at the end of the rush. Thank gosh, I was at the end of the rush, and I basically just said, "Can I have a large?" I think I said just a large cappuccino on skim. And I swear to gosh, no word of a lie, the woman on the other end of the counter legitimately nearly jumped over and decided to hug me, because I was the least complicated order of that day. And we're talking like 9 a.m, so I was the least complicated order of her day. I made someone's day by ordering a large cappuccino on skim. Go ahead, make someone's day, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show. It's Dale Campbell here with you. It's a pleasure as always. It's 11 o'clock.